If there's one thing that you take from this video conference today, it's this idea. If you want to re-engage and reconnect with your community, you must turn outward. You must turn outward. This is an orientation. It's a sense of sort of what direction that we're pointed in. It's about what we think our purpose and intention is in doing our work. I've worked with organizations, not just public broadcasters, but United Ways and community foundations, community colleges, groups of all kinds. And I can tell you that their success was predicted the most on the extent to which they had turned outward toward their community, the extent to which they were facing their community, the extent to which they could see their community in their line of sight. Now, that may sound like a given for all of us in doing this kind of work, but I just produced a report not too long ago called The Organization First Approach. And what we found by interviewing organizations across the country that were interested in engaging their communities, we found that they weren't turned outward. They weren't turned outward at all. In fact, what we found is that they were turned inward. That whenever they faced a challenge, whenever they believed they needed to be more effective, to have more input and impact, they turned to do a strategic plan. Whenever they decided that they needed to re-engage and reconnect with people, they decided to do another rebranding, somehow figuring that if they could just simply change the color of their logo, that somehow or another they would be more relevant to the community, more significant to the community. They decided that if they simply just redesigned internal processes, that somehow or another that would make their work more effective in the community, And yet, we know that those things don't make us more effective or impactful in the community. But in hard times, what we find, as I've been traveling around the country working with groups, including public broadcasters, is that the more we believe that there are hard times, the more we believe that somehow or another we need to become more relevant to communities, the more we believe that somehow we need to make our work more significant, what we find over and over again is that we turn inward again. We put our organization in front of the community. We put activity in front of action.